All right, hello, and welcome back. Chase Thomas Podcast, taping this on a Wednesday afternoon. I got a first-timer who is ready to go because his Oregon Ducks are a preseason top 25 baseball team here as college baseball is ready to get kicked back off. It's wild that we're here, but Coach Waz, are you ready for the season to begin?
Well, I don't know if you're ever really ready, but
Mm,
we're going to be ready. There's no doubt about it by the time we tee it up on the 17th.
I love it. What's the coolest part about being the coach of the Oregon Ducks?
Um, I don't know. The coolest part, boy, there's a lot of cool parts about this job. I'm really lucky to have it.
Mm,
Showing up to a place like this every day, unbelievable. I mean, I love my staff, being around these guys every day. They're young, they're knowledgeable, they're like ultra passionate. They're just awesome.
mm.
And so I love that part of it. The facilities are amazing. Being a duck is it's more fun to be a duck. It's awesome around here.
What's the biggest difference be going to an Oregon baseball game versus any other game around the country? What have you noticed is different about attending an Oregon game?
Um, wow. An Oregon game in general, just it's college town. People love it.
Mm,
The Ducks are the brand of the duck, and just the energy that goes along with it. With the actual duck himself is a lot of fun.
mm-hmm.
The environment that the fans bring to the table every single day for all the sporting events is unique. The whole web of having the cheerleaders and the duck and the motorcycle and the just all the things that are identifiable, I guess, to the common public, or just
Mm.
it's really really neat. To have a like we're going to have a first pitch banquet next this coming weekend, and
Mm.
to have the guy that actually rides the Harley, that's a totally authentic Harley that the Duck rides into the football games on every single day, and he wants to roll the Harley through the actual banquet room, and it's
Is that
just
happening?
I can't disclose whether it's
Okay.
happening or not, but I can tell you just the things outside the box, the innovation that Phil Knight's had with Nike trickles all the way
Mm.
through this place, because it doesn't go without Phil, and that relationship is really unique. So we're lucky.
Can you drive a Harley? Are you or ride a Harley? I guess is the right way. No.
I'd hold on for dear life. I'm not.
What's
I'm,
something
I'm
that?
not that fun, I guess.
Well, what would surprise folks, Oregon fans that are checking this out? Like, what would surprise them about you? Like, it may not be a motorcycle, but what do you do for fun, or what's something about you that a lot of folks may not know?
Wow. I don't know, like to fly fish, although I don't get on the river a whole lot. I
Okay.
really do work an awful lot, and I'm with my family when I don't work. And so I actually probably a pretty boring guy.
Mm.
Um, but I love my family,
Where's the
and
best
my,
place to
my,
fly fish in Oregon that you found?
what's
When you
that?
have time, where's the best place to go on the river and fly fish? If you could go this weekend, where would you go?
Well, I could walk out of my office right there and fly fishing that river right there, or
There you
drive
go.
5 minutes up the road that way and fly fishing one of the best fly fishing rivers in the world.
Mm.
You can drive down the Roseburg and fly fish down there, and catch steelhead. This is God's country, man. You can, for the outdoorsman that's looking for a place to be able to, you know, like shoot deer and just all kinds of stuff, wildlife. I got wild turkey running in my backyard, and we've got bear running around in the woods behind my house. It's a different place when it comes to stuff like that. It's awfully fun.
I like it. I like it. What was your favorite moment from this past season that you had some time a couple months later? You're like, man, that was a good time. That was a cool thing that happened last year. What was that for you?
Watching Josh Kasovich's development. It was a
Hmm.
daily basis deal. But when I walked by him in a lock in the tunnel, we had finished practice one day. We're done. I went with the team, part of the team that had an evening lift that after practice. So I was with the pitchers. Went to
Mm.
the weight room, came back to the facility, was walking back after I showered and lift was over. Practice been over now for about 2 hours, and I was walking out to my car, pretty late. And Josh Kasovich is walking past me, and I'm like, Josh, what are you doing? He goes, what a great chance. It just started to rain. I get a chance to go throw some balls that are wet and field some balls that are wet. I was like, got it. And then for him to be the highest drafted shortstop in the country last year out of the college ranks,
Mm.
no shock. And that's a guy that he had ability coming in, but he worked his way to where he is with the coaches I have, and his development is just watching that evolve on a daily basis is probably one of the most fun things to watch last year.
I love that. You get one do-over series. Which one do you take?
One do-over series?
Mm-hmm. One series that you went going in, you were like, I think it's going to go this way, and then it didn't for whatever reason, that you're like, wow, that was just weird. I don't know why this series went that way.
There were two. I didn't think we
Okay.
played well in a conference tournament, and I thought we played okay, but we came out on the wrong side of the scoreboard against Oregon State last year, which was weird for us because the year before we'd beat them, I think 4 out of the 5 times we played them, and so that was unexpected. But I didn't think we played poorly against them. I didn't think we played poorly in a conference tournament, but the results didn't go to our favor.
What was different about last year's team that surprised you after the season? Like, so you had this idea of what this team was going to be last year, and then it ended up being something else. What was something that just was different that you found out as you coached the team?
How much relationship driven the team was.
Hmm.
They wanted a relationship with the coaches, one-on-one relationship with each coach and each coaching staff member, and that equaled practice to them, not the 3-hour traditional old school practice.
Mm.
I think this generation of player wants more of a personal connection and a one-on-one type thing.
Hmm.
And not that it wasn't on a radar screen before last year, it was. And we did tailor make our practices for one-on-one, but I think last year's group was one that it hit me that it is clear. These guys really do want the one-on-one connection more than the traditional stuff.
Why do you think that is?
How they were brought up. They were brought up with lessons. They were brought up with one-on-one development sessions. And so
Hmm.
why would that end now? That's all they know. And so the
Huh.
coaches that are willing to adapt probably are going to have more success. And the coaches that are willing to say or aren't willing to adapt and they're not on board with that kind of stuff are probably going to get passed by pretty quick because these guys aren't going to give you their attention.
That's interesting. Is that the biggest thing that's changed since you've been coaching in the college ranks? Like, is that the biggest change that you've seen, or is there another thing that you've noticed over the years that's it's been a big adjustment to the sport?
Yeah, that's the biggest change for sure.
Hmm. I like it.
How to talk with an athlete. It's no longer back when I played, it was real simple. If a
Mm,
coach told you to do something, you did it because he said so. And if a parent told you to do something, you did it because that parent said so. And if you asked why, they said, because I said so. And that was
mm,
the answer. And that was good enough. And that's just what you wore and what you did. And that was the expectation back then. And it's just not the way it is now. And so complaining about it's the wrong path. It's not going to change.
mm.
If you complain about it, you're just going to sound grumpy and you're going to sound outdated and somebody that nobody wants to play for. So better get on board with their language or else, boy, oh boy, that ship has sailed.
There you go. What was different, or what did you learn about last year, about yourself last year as a coach? What was something that you were like, okay, this is something I got to maybe adjust, or this is something that I had in me as a coach that I didn't know I had. How did you evolve as a coach last year?
Listen more, talk less.
Hmm,
And I'm trying to evolve even more this year with that and every year. Just listen more, talk less.
I like it. Is there a series that you're most excited about this year that you already have circled that you're like, this is going to be fun. I'm excited for this
Yeah.
weekend.
The next one, the first one, the next one. That's the best one. Yeah, that's all I care about. And it's going to be a lot of fun.
Are you a fan of are the midweek games helpful to you and your staff and your players? Do you like that one game midweek?
Love it.
Love it?
I get a chance to be around my team and my coaches.
Yeah.
Any day is a great day.
Do the
But
players like it?
love it.
Yeah.
You learned it if you didn't. I mean that's all we learned in COVID, right? I mean, we
Yeah.
learned a lot, but the biggest thing in COVID is it can go away, and so you better
Yeah.
cheer up. Your good days, your bad days, at least you're together and you got to play.
Mm,
And if you simplify it back to the fact that hey, you're telling me I get a chance to play today? Yeah,
mm,
coach. Great, I'm in. That's a great day then, because at one point in
mm.
time that got taken away from us, and that sucked.
Yeah. It's just interesting because like I'm a Tennessee guy and I go to all these Tennessee games and like maybe it was just more of last year where those Tuesday night games where it was like 20-1 to Xavier, and then they're gonna have the mercy rule this year for SEC teams where conference games though, where it's like 10 or more after I think the seventh inning, and Tennessee would have run rolled like 5 teams last year in conference play if that had been the case. So it's like I've been kind of spoiled being here the last few years, but like I don't know. It was just interesting that there's this blip, and then you have this weekday starter, and then you get into the weekend and the meat of the calendar each and every week, but you still do that. So I was always curious from different staffs and different coaches and players, like what they see out of those games. What do you think will be the biggest change about this year's Oregon baseball team that might surprise folks based on what they saw last year?
I think that they'll just see the evolution of what we're trying to do with the program. We're bigger, stronger, more physical, and we've got guys that 1 through 9 can hit the ball over the fence. And at one point in time, I think Oregon was known as a team that was just going to bunt and play for a run, and the squeeze bunt was going to be the most offensive play that we're going to run. And now I don't know if we're going to squeeze bunt at all this year. I mean, we might, but it'll be in the bag of tricks, I guess. But I think we're going to have a chance to score some runs in a physical way. That's been something that we've been trying to really develop in this program. And my time in the SEC, there's some really good things about the SEC, and I like the fact that the SEC motto and the player, the player comp is a big, strong, physical guy that can hit the ball out of the park and score runs with one swing of the bat. And I think we're going to be able to do that and have been trending in that direction. I think this year we're just going to continue to go down that road even further.
It seems like that's what most fans like too, right? And players like, is that more fun for everybody involved?
Yeah, I think so. Chicks dig the long ball. Yeah.
Exactly. Players you'll miss coaching the most from last year's team.
Well, I mean, we had great players. We had Josh Kasevich. We had Anthony Hall. I mean, those guys are really, really good. Adam Meyer was really, really good. Those guys are high draft picks. I still miss coaching Aaron Zavala. From the year before, he's a great, great story. All of them for me. I mean, they're no favorites. It's just they're all they're all different. Some of them have better stat years than others, but just being around every one of them every single day, it's when you don't get that chance to be around those guys, then the next year, I mean, when Kenyon Yoban walked in my office yesterday and he's going down to big league camp, that was a couple years ago that he got a chance to play for us. But I miss him just like, when Cole Stringer rolls in. And I didn't get a chance to coach Cole Stringer. He signed pro when I first took this job, but he's out at our field yesterday introducing himself to a lot of guys that didn't know him. I mean, I miss String, and I mean, that dude and those kind of guys, I don't know, all these guys, when you just value the time you get to be with them, because, it doesn't last forever.
No, the season, it flies by, man. Speaking of that, who was a kind of a tape hero that didn't light up the stat sheet last year for your team? Who was someone that most fans may have overlooked on your roster, but who you saw just contributed so much on and off the field for your team?
Tanner Smith, the guy, he got a chance to have like every record in school history, and I don't think he gets the credit that he probably deserved for it, because he just is so consistent. He's not been the flair, the dramatic, but he's just been ultra consistent throughout his time. And him, and then Gavin Grant, he's been like the glue up the middle for us defensively. He just does so many great things. He executes. He can hit now. He's bigger, more physical. He was just a little Punch and Judy guy when we first got him, and now he's much, much more physical. Credit to Daryl Hunter in the weight room, and Brett Thomas and Coach Marter with the hitting. I mean, this guy's turned himself into a real physical hitter. Marcus Hinkle's our defensive coach, and he pretty much brought Gavin here, and Gavin's just been the glue. He's going to move over to shortstop this year, and he's played tremendous shortstop for us already. Those guys.
Players folks don't know about yet at Oregon, but we'll know about soon this year.
Long list, man. Let's start international. Let's go Riku Nishida.
Okay.
Japanese, transferred in, led the Cape Cod League in stolen bases, second baseman, Japanese flair, can fly, can really do it. Sabine Ceballos, Puerto Rico, third baseman, first base, catcher. He can do pretty much it all. Power bat, stud, San Jac Community College, drafted by the Angels. He's here now. We're lucky. John Jaha's kid, Jackson Jaha, can really hit. He can be used as a two-way guy. He's a freshman, was drafted by the Mets. He's on campus right now. Dominic Hellman, the guy's a beast. He's 6'5", 6'6". He plays shortstop, and he hits the ball over the light towers, which I've never seen at our field. He's an amazing talent. Drew Smith, third baseman from Clovis, California, Buchanan High School. absolute stud. He was on the national radar with the summer circuit, area code guy, all that kind of stuff. Real good player. And then the Canadian guys, whether it's Matthew Grabman on the hill or Turner Spoljarek on the hill, Owen Diodati with the bat. We got a lot of Canadians right now that are really good players that are new to the program, and it was a highly ranked recruiting class. These guys are, and there's a lot more that I'm not even talking about, but those guys just off the top of my head.
I like it. Biggest off-season thing you found yourself thinking about? When you get away from baseball for a little bit? I know it's still busy in the portal and everything else, but what did you find yourself thinking about this off-season? What occupied your time? What'd you do for fun, Coach?
Not a whole lot, to be honest with you. Unfortunately, I did get away with my family a little bit. To be honest, when I get away from baseball, I'm just trying to think about how can I, or why am I not doing a better job with my family, and how can I do a better job with my wife and two wonderful daughters. I love them to death, and the time away, I'm just thinking about them, to be honest with you.
Are they big baseball folks? Do they both daughters love the game?
I don't know if they love it. They tolerate it.
Okay.
I know my oldest daughter, Joelle, probably likes it a click more than my youngest, Kelsey.
Yeah.
Kelsey's a tremendous swimmer, going to Arizona next year. Proud of
Oh,
her.
wow.
Joelle's in the pharmacy school at Purdue as a third-year student. She's brilliant.
That's awesome.
And she goes to Purdue baseball games even without me coaching there. So she likes baseball a lot. My wife just likes to be out and have fun and be around people. So I think she deals with baseball as best she can, and she is my biggest critic. She keeps things very simple when it comes to her suggestions and advice, and so, we definitely listen to her.
Do you have any game day rituals that you do? Are you a sunflower seed guy? Are you a bubblegum guy? Do you pace around a certain way? Do you have a pregame meal that you like doing before any game?
No, believe it or not, I eat the same thing pretty much every day for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
What are we talking about here? What's your breakfast, lunch, and dinner every day?
Oatmeal and an egg.
Okay.
In the breakfast deal. For lunch, it's usually a turkey or a tuna sandwich or peanut butter and jelly, one of those three options, with a can of soup. And then for dinner, it's either chicken, fish, or pasta, whatever Miss Lori wants to make for us that night.
There you go. No red meat. You eat healthy, and you stick to it. I like it.
Keep it simple. I don't know. The
it's
more
less
boring
choices,
I become, probably the more productive I am with my family and my job.
I would agree. I do the same thing each and every day. It's a fun time. Coach, how do the good folks check out everything you've got going on this weekend for Oregon baseball? So for all the local Oregon folks and just Pac-12 folks who are excited about watching Top 25, great program in the Ducks and are going to be bursting on the scene. What can they do to support everything you've got going on with your program this year?
Well, buy season tickets. Come out to the ballpark. Park is awesome. Pat Kilkenny's dumped about another, I don't know how many millions into the ballpark with graphics and just beautiful things at the yard. Fan experience should be awesome. It should be a lot of fun. Just come out to the ballpark, take a look at these guys. I think they'll really like the engagement that our guys have with our fans, our community, and it's just a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun to be out at our field, and for them to come out and experience that, I think would be a great decision. They wouldn't regret it. Bring their kids, bring their family, have some fun out there.
There you go. I wish we got to get Tennessee over there. We got to get Tennessee, Oregon happening. That'd be a cool backdrop, cool uniform.
Yeah, I like Tony a lot, man. He's awesome. He's a great guy and friend of mine. And they weren't always doing the things that Tony's doing right now at Tennessee. So be grateful.
It takes time.
Huh?
We take it for granted. It takes time, man. Like the last 2 years have been, and then you see preseason number 2 this year, and I'm like, I don't know. I moved here for grad school 3 years ago, and it's been nothing but fun times since. But I don't know. Like you said, you can't take this stuff for granted.
I see him all the time on the road. The guy's just he's a worker. He's a great, he's a friend of mine and a great competitor, and he's not afraid to ruffle some feathers, and neither are we. And so, if you wanted to try to come out here and ruffle the Ducks' feathers, then let's go. Let's have some fun. Let's do a home and home.
Let's do it. That would be fun. Let's do it, Coach. All right. Well, Coach, thank you so much for the time today. Good luck this season. Wish you and your team nothing but the best. I'm excited for college baseball season to be right around the corner once again. It's a great, great time to be a baseball fan. And like I said, hope for the best. You guys do great up there in the Northwest this year. And thank you so much for making the time.
Yes, sir. Sounds good.